just 1 second. I just want to make sure my internet connection is good. Thanks.
Okay. I did it prematurely. We're live, but we are on hold.
Hi, thanks. Right as you said, we're going to go live. I started to get choppy connection.
Oh.
So good afternoon, everybody. My name is Tom McCarthy. I am Vice President for Finance, and I'm joined by the members of the Finance Committee and members of the administration team. And we are ready to call this meeting of the Audit and Finance Committee to order. 5:05 p.m.
Thank you.
So first on the agenda is public comment.
We have not received any public comment for this committee. People from the public, if you wish to make a comment, please send an email to publiccomment@albanypubliclibrary.org or leave a voicemail at 518-290-6905. You are asked to leave your name and address, and public comments will be read during designated times.
Thank you.
It appears you have someone there that wants to make a public comment.
I know. She's too big to be a lapdog, but
they're never too big to be lapdogs.
Aww.
What's her name?
All right. Okay, so next item on our agenda is reviewing the investment policy. Actually, fund balance first, right? Okay, so this came to us because Sarah Dallas is chair of P&G, and these policies are up for review at P&G on their regularly scheduled review. And Sarah asked us to take a look at these two policies before P&G, just in case we had ideas or changes that should go into them, since these policies are kind of in our committee's domain. So their committee is going to take a look at this next month, and she was just wondering if we had any thoughts on it before they do. I took a look. Nothing jumped out to me as needing change in the fund balance policy. Did anyone else get a chance to think through this?
So I will say much of this was, if I can have the floor, Tom.
Yeah, please.
I will say much of this has been vetted in the past. It was vetted 2 years ago, and Bob has looked at this. I don't believe there's any real changes necessary because it really follows the comptroller's guidance.
Okay, great. We don't need to make a motion on this. I think we just need to tell Sarah that we looked at it and it's ready for the review. So thank you. You can take a look at the investment as well. And it is for the investment policy, Scott. Is it kind of the same thing? Been vetted relatively recently?
Yeah. I mean, we may want Bob to review both of these just in case there's been changes to the law, but I don't believe there's no suggestions from the administration, and I'm not sure I would not suggest the board to make changes without legal review.
This one, I believe, having been on the review portion of this for multiple times, it is pretty standard. We're extremely limited in what we can invest in. So this pretty much follows the letter of the law. Unless they're, like we said, I would hand it off to legal just in case there has been any changes made to the law.
There is one thing that I would point out about this. It does note that the treasurer is supposed to be the one designated to see what it says. It sounds like the intent is for the treasurer to be the main person involved with maintaining these investments. So I don't know that that's what we've always done. Certainly with a new treasurer, we could make that happen though, and that may in fact be the way that we should be doing it. So I don't know that I'd suggest changing the policy. It's just something that maybe we want to take into account with any new treasurer that we may appoint.
Yeah, that's a good point. That might be a question for Bob as to whether we're required to say that the treasurer is responsible for managing the investment program, which we could definitely ask, or we could just flag that for Bob and Sarah Dallas, and they can work it out by the time the next meeting for P&G comes around. And if we do have a choice and we think we might want to reword the policy, then it can always come back to us. But I would say that's a question for Bob, because I do think what this says here in the delegation of authority, paragraph 3, is not exactly how we do it.
Right.
So yeah, can we, what's the best way to put that question to Bob? Like I'm happy to email him if that makes sense, or if there's a better way to like consolidate questions to Bob.
If I may speak?
Yeah.
Generally, what we do is we keep a redlined version. So I have one pulled up here. I'll make a comment that the discussion is that there's a question of who is ultimately responsible or has the authority to make these decisions, if it is the treasurer, or what would be the recommendation for the alternate. Do you know who the recommendation of the alternate would be from you guys? Or are you asking him who he believes should be?
Yeah. If the treasurer is not required by law to be the person in this policy designated, then, the way we have done it is that Adam and finance, in-house finance is responsible for it.
Yeah.
So I guess the question is, one, does it have to be the treasurer legally? And two, by doing our actual practice, is that out of step with the policy or the law? Anything else on this from anybody? Okay, if nothing else, then we can move on to agenda item 4.03, the DoD Construction Grant, which I assume is what has come from the Facilities Committee.
Sure. So the Facilities Committee has voted to accept the Division of Library Development Construction Grant that's administered by the Upper Hudson Library System. We did not receive the full 75-25%. What we received was a 60% match, which means that we will need to use $91,727, if my math is correct, from the capital fund. So Adam, since you're the budget manager and that meeting just ended, could you do 68% of 286, 6, hold on. Let me just do something real quick. My apologies, should have done this math. Should have done this math in between meetings, but
you had
didn't
it done,
have a
I thought.
chance. No, but I just want to make sure it's
Okay.
right. I'm a little nervous that it might actually, I'm not the one that do math. Come on. So I believe Tim has everything laid out in his email, and we probably should have had Adam come. So the 2022 construction grant recommendation is, no, that's not the email.
If I'm not mistaken, it should be 286, 646.
That's how much, that's the award, or is that the project?
That's the project for Washington Avenue, HVAC, RTU, air handler installation, and the mechanical room system updates.
Excellent. So that means that we are responsible for 32% of that. So what is, Adam, what is 32% of 286, 646?
Hold on. You want 28%?
32.
32.
That's 91,727, just about.
So my math was correct for
Yep.
once. So that will be the ask from the capital budget so that we have, we can match the grant. As Sarah Dallas mentioned, and has been mentioned before, sometimes if other systems cannot use all of their funding, and it's happened with the last grant cycle, we may get more money. So we may be spending less money from our capital fund. But for right now, I think this is what we're being awarded. So I think better to be safe than sorry and have it designated. So many animals in this meeting, it's awesome.
Doug's off the side here.
I heard him.
Yeah, how, just because I'm going off memory, but how much is in the capital fund balance right now? I mean, in the account?
I believe approximately 95,000.
Those would use almost all of it.
So this would require us to move an additional sum into the capital account. The money that's in there, the majority of it was for 2 projects that were approved early in the year.
What is it? What is the overall balance for the construction for the capital fund? Not how much we have in the bank account, but what was the overall final budget?
I'm not sure I understand what you mean. The two projects that we had approved?
No, not, so those, this would be added to the two projects.
Right.
What is the overall balance? Not what's in the bank account, but what is the overall balance of the construction fund? I mean, of the capital fund.
So like the fund balance that,
Yes, yeah.
I believe it's still recorded as 3 million on the balance sheet. That may get adjusted as part of the audit to reflect that 80,000 that we removed earlier in the year. I'm not entirely certain on that if the auditors are going to make that adjustment or not, but I believe right now it's still set to 3 million.
And we added to the fund balance last year, correct?
Right.
Not
Yeah,
to-
we added to the unrestricted fund balance.
Yes. So we have more than enough money in the fund, in the capital fund, the designated part of the fund balance to pay for this project and the other two projects that were agreed
Okay. And you're looking for a motion from this committee to approve like, are we approving, sending $91,000 to Upper
on.
Hudson?
So, yeah, so assigning $91,727 from the capital fund, for this project. So it would be adding to the capital fund budget, because remember, we have the operations budget line and then we have the capital fund budget line.
Mhm.
It would be adding we have those two projects, which the amount I don't know off the top of my head. So
I
it would
believe
be
it was
adding
80,000.
91. What was it?
I believe it was 80,000 for the two projects from earlier that were not DLD.
So this would be adding an additional $91,727 to this year's capital fund budget.
Okay, I see.
And
Okay,
probably
well-
say for the purpose of matching Division of Library Development grant funds. So we can clarify why we did it.
Okay. So yeah, that sounds good to me. I mean, I would support doing that. Matthew and Jare, does that sound like?
Spot on. Absolutely.
Yes.
So one of us has to say the motion. Since I'm leaving, let's let Jare say the motion. Unless Jare, you want me to.
Oh, go right ahead.
Okay. I move. I forgot the number.
91,726.
91,727.
27.
Okay, round it up.
Always round it up.
$91,727. Yes. Okay, I move to move 91. Oh my God, I forgot it already.
Okay.
The amount.
727.
And $927 into dollars into the capital fund to be used as matching funds for the library, the Department of Library Development grant.
Division
Division of Library Development grant. Oh my God.
That's my fault.
Yeah,
Been saying
right.
it for years.
You will do this much better than me. I swear you're going to be so much better. So did that do it? Rebecca's typing like the actual professional version.
Motion to assign $91,727 into the capital fund to be used as matching funds from the New York State Division of Library Development Construction Grant. Is that it?
Yeah.
Right?
That sounds
That's
good.
it. That does it.
Okay. Okay, go ahead. And that was Finn was first then. He made the motion.
I second.
Thank you. You could do a voice vote if you'd like.
Aye.
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 Beautiful. Motion carries.
And Becky, we could probably do one motion for the full board. It could probably just be accept the divert, we'll work on it for Tuesday.
Right, that's great news. Glad to see that moving along. And so that brings us to our last big agenda item, which is discussing and possibly recommending a candidate to serve as treasurer of Albany Public Library. So just a quick refresher. Jare and Adam and I met last week with 4 candidates who applied through our RFP, and we had some good conversations, and we talked a little bit afterwards about the candidates, and we can talk a little more right now, but where we are is we interviewed 4 candidates, and I wanted to ask if first to Jare and Adam, do we still have the same thoughts that we did when we last talked about this? Have we changed? I guess I'll say first that I talked to 2 of the references for Sean Smith, and they were both very good references. And it just occurred to me, this is a thing we should be talking about in open session, or is this an executive session? We're discussing an appointment. And I don't know.
If you're not discussing, I don't think this can go into executive session. I think the hiring of somebody has to be
okay.
in open forum.
Okay.
If you're voting on the person, it has to be any vote of motion has to be done in.
If you were comparing candidates, I think that could be done in executive session, but
that is what we're doing.
If you want to discuss the candidates and the interviews themselves, then yes, we should go. I could put you into a separate breakout room. But if you've already made the decision, if you've already taken the time to discuss it and figure it out, and you're ready to make the actual decision, then we have to be an open meeting. If you still want to go through the little nitty gritty of the actual interviews and stuff and how you came to your decision, then that's executive session.
Yeah, just put us in a breakout room really quick. And then we'll come back in.
Yeah, we shouldn't be long.
No
Thank
problem.
you. Actually, do we need a motion to go into executive session?
yes.
I make a motion to go into executive session.
And who do we want into, and it's for the purpose of appointing a specific person and so on and so forth, personnel matters. Who do you want in the breakout room?
The trustees, Adam, and I mean, you're all welcome to join. It's not top secret. I would say Scott and me can join as well.
We didn't actually take a second, did we? We did a first for the.
Hello.
Hi.
So,
Matt, can you do it?
so hold one second. So for purposes of the minutes,
Who made the motion?
Jare made the motion to leave executive session and Matthew seconded.
Who was the second for the first for going in?
Same order.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah. I remember seconding real quick. Just turning my mic on. Same for both.
Yeah, that's right.
So his name is Sean Smith. Is that who I'm moving?
Yeah,
Okay.
we're making a motion to recommend Sean Smith as our nominee for treasurer
Yes.
to be voted on at the full board meeting.
Recommend appointment of Sean Smith as treasurer,
Yes.
Yes.
beginning immediately or effective, well, they'll decide that at the board meeting. Okay.
Is that motion coming from you, Tom?
No, I think you guys should make it in second.
Okay. So I move to do what Tom said.
I second.
What I did there?
All in favor?
Hi.
Aye.
Very good.
Right. Well, this is great. I think this is going to be good. I think it's going to feel really good to have the position filled and active again. So yeah, congratulations. Thank you, Adam and Jare and everybody who helped work on this and think through it. Yeah, and I think we're going to be in great shape. And that is the end of our agenda, if I'm not mistaken. So I will entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting.
I move to adjourn this meeting.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Bless you.
Bless you.
Stu,
Thanks. Thank you.
perfectly timed.
Very well timed.
Good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Night.
So Becky, I will email